Have you ever stumbled upon a place name so bizarre that you had to do a double take? A name that seems to cross the border of ordinary, leap over the fence of functional, and land squarely in the field of the hilariously strange? If you thought all destinations were created equal, buckle up, because today on Globe Trekking, we're about to uncover the 10 cheekiest, most giggle-inducing place names in beautiful New Zealand, each with its own quirky backstory and unsuspecting allure that can turn any mundane trip into an unforgettable adventure. These towns and locations entice tourists not just with their scenic landscapes, but with nomenclature that is an open invitation to humor and, occasionally, a linguistic faux pas. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before we dive headfirst into the whimsy of New Zealand's map, where the towns have character and the names tell stories all by themselves. Number 10, Whakapapa, New Zealand. Buckle up for a linguistic slope that'll have English speakers do a double take. Whakapapa, pronounced Whakapapa, might draw a stifled giggle from those unacquainted with Maori language nuances. It's a prime example of how a harmless name can turn into an English faux pas when mouths run before minds. In Maori, the osh sound is a soft F, a fact that's lost in translation, much to the amusement of visitors. But beyond the chuckles lies a revered ski resort, known for its powdery slopes rather than its phonetic faux pas. Whakapapa sits on the slopes of Mount Ruapehu, serving up snow-covered adventures, not pronunciation punchlines. Yet, the name alone is a slippery slope that lands visitors straight into a cultural comedy of errors. It's not just about the pronunciation, it's about threading the needle between respect for Maori culture and the universal language of laughter. Strap on your ski boots, international guests. You're not just taking on the mountain, but New Zealand's cultural linguistics. This spot promises more than just winter sports. It's a wholesome venture into the rich tapestry of local language, a trip where I's are dotted, ats are crossed, and W's are softly blown away, much to the chuckle of first-time visitors. Understanding takes a back seat, and hilarity steers the way through Whakapapa's snowy trails. Number 9. Taumatau hakatangi hangakoa wa otamatiat uripuka kapiki maunga horonukupokai wenu akitnatahu, New Zealand. If you thought memorizing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious as a child was a triumph, wait until you encounter this mouthful of a moniker. Brace yourselves for Taumata wakatangi hangakoa wa otamatiat uripuka kapiki maunga horonukupokai wenu akitnatahu, a name so long it has locals and tourists tripping over their tongues. With its impressive 85 characters, this place isn't just a hill, it's a living, breathing, spelling bee nightmare that seems to challenge anyone daring to say it out loud. To give perspective, staring at the serene slopes of this hill, one might ponder whether the name was meant to be a geographical feature or a tongue twister designed to perplex potential visitors. Peering down from its peak, you could read this video's script several times before reaching the last syllable of this Maori word. A testament to New Zealand's rich indigenous culture, it stands proudly as the hill with a name that undeniably stretches longer than this video's runtime. Moreover, Taumatau hakatangi hangako awawo tamatiat uripukaka piki maunga horonukupokai wenu akitnatahu doesn't just intimidate with its length, it lays down a gauntlet, gauging the courage of tourists one syllable at a time. The notoriety of its name has earned it a spot in the World Guinness Records, turning it into a linguistic landmark that beckons the brave. And whether or not you manage to pronounce it correctly, the hill's rolling green pastures and the remarkable story behind its name make for a memorable narrative to travelers far and wide. Number 8. Hooker Valley, New Zealand. Sashaying into our comedic travel list at number 8 is Hooker Valley, a New Zealand trekking paradise that might make you double take at the signpost. This picturesque stretch within Aoraki Mount Cook National Park has unwittingly tiptoed into the twilight zone of entertainingly ambiguous labels, suggesting a curious rendezvous between nature's splendor and a name you might expect to see in neon lights on a shadowy street corner. Trampers and tourists flock to Hooker Valley, enticed by the breathtaking vistas of the Southern Alps, only to find their laughter echoing off glaciers when they hear the name. It's a natural beauty so impressive that visitors can't help but wonder if Hooker was a clever ploy to boost tourism, with its cheeky undertone promising more than just alpine scenery. But let no eyebrows be raised in scandal. The valley was named after English botanist Sir Joseph Dalton Hooker, a friend of Charles Darwin, proving that sometimes history can be unexpectedly hilarious. It's hard not to smirk at the purity of it all. A pristine trail with such a questionable moniker, leading hikers through one of the most stunning routes on Earth. Was it an innocent colonial-era decision, or the best tourism trap ever laid? Either way, the giggle-worthy name of Hooker Valley holds an allure that goes beyond its scenic walks and glacial lakes. It's a reminder that even the great outdoors has a sense of humor. Number 7. Shag Point, New Zealand. Ready for a cheeky giggle? Venture to Shag Point, where the name alone might make you blush. Yet the real attraction lies in its stunning natural beauty combined with a touch of risqué charm. This coastal jewel proves that sometimes you really can judge a book, or in this case, a travel destination, by its cover. On the one hand, it's an important wildlife sanctuary, home to a thriving population of New Zealand fur seals basking on the rocks, seemingly oblivious to the snickers their human visitors might suppress. But let's be honest, while nature enthusiasts flock here for its ecological significance, there's no denying the allure of that mischievously suggestive name. And isn't it the perfect bait for the social media savvy? Shag Point has become a hotspot not just for its adorable furry inhabitants, but also for visitors eagerly waiting to snap a photo, paired with a cheeky caption, guaranteed to rack up the likes. After all, who could resist adding a playful pun to their feed while enjoying the breathtaking views? Number 6. Cape Foulwind, New Zealand. Imagine a place where the name itself warns of an olfactory assault, evoking wrinkled noses before even a single step is taken. Welcome to Cape Foulwind, a headland where the moniker quite literally stinks, yet the locale couldn't be more misleading. Visitors expecting an alarming scent are met instead with brisk ocean air and vistas so breathtaking, the only thing foul might be the envy of those unable to witness its rugged beauty firsthand. This name, born from an explorer's distaste, provides more of a chuckle today than a warning off. When English navigator James Cook sailed past the area in the 1770s, a particularly unpleasant whiff led him to christen it with a name that has stuck despite the headland's untainted charm. Now, it's a name etched on maps and souvenirs, a title that tells a tale of a moment in history rather than the reality of this windswept coastal gem. Cape Foulwind truly illustrates that when nature calls, it's not always a pastoral beckoning. Sometimes it's a gust of stench, or at least the historic memory of one, inviting travelers from far and wide to discover its true calling card. A stunning landscape that is anything but odious. In the end, Cape Foulwind proves that even the most unpromising of names can mask destinations of unanticipated splendor. Number 5. Gore, New Zealand. In the tranquil green pastures of New Zealand's South Island, there lies a small town with a name that could make you think of horror scenes rather than serene scenes. Yes, we're talking about Gore, a name that might suggest something sinister, but in reality, it's anything but. This unsuspectingly endearing township is nestled in the heart of Southland, and while its name might evoke images of slasher films, it's actually known for much cozier affairs. You could be forgiven for double-checking your map when you come across Gore. It's indeed not the set of a horror movie, but Southland's second-largest town. Rich in history and hospitable charm, Gore offers a peaceful retreat from the adrenaline-pumping connotations its name might initially suggest. It's a place where the local community's warmth far outshines the cold blood its name could imply, making it a cherished stop on the South Island circuit. Lest we forget, Gore isn't just about shaking off unfortunate name associations. It proudly holds the title of Capital of Country Music in New Zealand. So, rather than eerie soundtracks that might accompany a name like Gore, expect to have your days and evenings here filled with the strums of guitars and the soothing sounds of country ballads. Yes, this little town with a surprisingly edgy name has rhythm and beats that could charm any traveler into staying just a little bit longer. Number 4. Egmont National Park. Is it eggs meeting Mount in a scrambled mess of cartography? While the name Egmont isn't exactly a cartographical confusion, it sure sparks a bit of humor, imagining a breakfast dish tossed across the map. Yet, this national park, named after the Earl of Egmont, takes a yoker of a twist with its moniker that leaves travelers and locals alike chuckling, a dash of historical humor to accompany the stunning vistas. The peak, more commonly known by its indigenous Maori name, Taranaki, has retained its original title with grace and history clinging to its slopes. But there's something about the valiant attempt of Egmont to drape itself over this majestic mountain that just doesn't sit right on the tongue. Perhaps it's the contrast of colonial honorifics with the resounding native names that leaves a slip of giggle before the grandeur of the park's natural beauty truly sinks in. And let's not shy away from the fact that Egmont piques curiosity. Is it the pinnacle of all comedy when it comes to national parks? With its snow-capped summit piercing blue skies, one cannot help but marvel and muse if the name was plucked from an explorer's hat. Or perhaps it humorously nods to the eggy clouds that often tiptoe around its apex. All joking aside, Egmont National Park serves up a dish of laughter with a side of awe-inspiring scenery. Number 3. Whakapapa, New Zealand. If saying Whakapapa doesn't twist your tongue, try explaining it without a chuckle. This quirky moniker has left many a visitor scratching their heads, wondering if they've wandered into a town or a tongue-twister competition. It's the pronounceable puzzle that epitomizes New Zealand's playful relationship with place names, and yes, it's an open challenge to any tourist daring enough to say it swiftly, 3 times in a row. Delving deeper into this pastoral paradise, one might ask, why kick a moo cow? Is Whakapapa simply a picturesque slice of rural New Zealand, or a secret society for cow martial arts? The whimsical name brings a touch of levity to the green hills and farmlands, inviting more than just casual mispronunciations. It teases the imagination, blurring the lines between reality and humor in the most delightful way. Despite sounding like the setup for a comedian's routine, Whakapapa embodies the heart and soul of New Zealand's countryside. More than just a funny name, it represents the idyllic essence and effortless charm that you'd expect from this corner of the world. The name might evoke instant giggles, but it also stands as a testament to the locals' endearing wit, making Whakapapa a must-visit for any traveler with a penchant for unique names and authentic encounters. Number 2. Ohakune, New Zealand. You, Ohakune, what this town is known for? Nestled at the foot of the majestic Mount Ruapehu, Ohakune is famously dubbed the carrot capital of New Zealand, and it's not hard to root for this charming place. With a colossal carrot statue standing as a testimony to the town's pride, it's a beacon for vegetable puns and playful photo ops that tourists simply can't resist. But the puns don't stop there. Ohakune's quirky name is just ripe for the picking. Visitors and locals alike can't help but crack a smile and a pun or two. Whether it's the "Ohakun you didn't" heard after a daring ski run, or the "nice to meet you, Ohakun" at the local après-ski bar, the town's name is a delightful playground for pun enthusiasts and dad joke connoisseurs. Beyond its pun-tastic name, Ohakun boasts a dual identity that draws crowds year-round. As the southern gateway to the Tongariro National Park, it's not only a winter wonderland offering snowy escapades, but also a hub of verdant hiking trails and adventure activities in warmer months. From skiing haven to verbal fun, Ohakune is truly an all-seasons resort for both thrill-seekers and wordplay aficionados alike. Number 1. Bulls, New Zealand. Nestled in the heart of New Zealand's North Island lies Bulls, a town whose name doesn't just move you, it corrals all the jokes. It's utterly fantastic how the locals have embraced their town's moniker with a sense of humor that's as fertile as their farming lands. No bull, this place turns wordplay into an art form, milking every opportunity for laughs without steering into overkill. The pastoral charm of Bulls is evident not just in its lush greenery, but in how the town has embraced the pun with landmarks like Constable, police station, and Relievable, public toilets. The townsfolk aren't afraid to take the bull by the horns and brandish their punny prowess for all to see. It's a branding that would make any marketer proud, turning the everyday into a source of wit and whimsy. Even the local church is in on the act, welcoming parishioners to the Forgivable. But the real trophy in the town's cabinet of humor is the bull-themed everything. From Read a Bull Library to Bankable Bank, the linguistic lunacy is a reflection of a community that's found strength and identity in its name. Indeed, a saunter through the streets of Bulls offers more than just an opportunity to stretch your legs. It's a chance to graze in a field of punnery, where every signpost is a grin-inducing reminder of the town's fecund sense of amusement. It seems there's no end to the bull here, and that's no bull. As we wrap up our whimsical journey through New Zealand's humorously named locales, we've chuckled at places such as Whakapapa, dodged the linguistical bullet of Taumata Whakatangi Hanga Kwawawa Tamatiat, Uripukaka Piki Maunga Horonuku Pokai Wenu Akitnatahu, and navigated through the likes of Hooker Valley and Shag Point without straying into risqué territory. These destinations have not only provided us with scenic beauty, but also a hearty dose of laughter, proving that names can indeed be deceiving, delighting, and downright entertaining. Reflect on this. The power of a name can evoke curiosity, evoke laughter, and even shape our experiences in these places. It's a reminder that travel can always be served with a side of humor, whether you're standing at the peak of Cape Foulwind or meandering through the streets of Gore. If you're now gripped by a serious case of wanderlust mixed with a pinch of mirth, don't forget to hit subscribe to join our global trekking family. We promise to keep the puns coming and the adventures even more thrilling. And if you're already planning your next holiday or just daydreaming about New Zealand's comic relief, consider watching our video on the top 10 must-see natural wonders of New Zealand for more breathtaking sights and sounds from the land of the long white cloud.